Hello YouTubers and welcome to another Doctor Who action figure review. Today I shall be taking a look at the Missy action figure, which was released in late 2015 as part of the collector series made by Character Options 5.5 line, or it's just another Doctor Who action figure if you've been collecting them for many years like myself. Now there was two versions of this figure which were released, the black version and the purple version. And these are actually relatively new still, because there's not been that many figures that have been released since this first came out. Originally this was exclusive to Character Options and you had to order it online. Then they didn't sell that many, so they thought, well, let's just put them in Toys R Us stores, and that is exactly how I ended up picking mine up. So first off, I'm just going to show you a look at the box. The box looks like the sort of scanner device which Missy uses in a few of her appearances. Overall, it's nicely detailed. It's different to the usual collector series packaging, which again was re-released in the back end of 2015 or so. So that's quite nice, but overall now we're going to take a look at the figure itself. And first off, we're going to take a look at the detailing of the figure, and straight away, if I just bring the figure closer to the camera, I think that it has a really good likeness to Michelle Gomez, who plays Missy. You know, she's got the lipstick on and everything. She's got that grin, so you know that she's up to something. She's up to no good. The curls in her hair, I think they've been very nicely detailed. They've got like a sort of wash of brown and black, which is how her hair is in the series, so that's really nice. And the head itself is removable, and you can just take it off because it is swappable with another head, because it did two head sculpts of this, which is quite good. The coat is done in black, and I think that's very nicely detailed. You've got all the creases in there, you've got a few buttons here, and it's made out of like a rubbery plastic. If we have a look at the shirt here, it looks like a light blue on the camera. It sort of is, and it sort of isn't. It depends on how you look at it. Some would think it's like completely white, but it is like a really, really light blue when you have it in hand. And I'm not sure if you can see that on camera or not. You've got the button there as well, which is nicely detailed, because she had that at this point in the series, so that looks really nice. And if we just take a look at the back of the coat as well, there you go. The skirt, very nicely detailed, a few creases in there, and then she's just wearing a Heelys there. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain to stand up now and again. The hands, they have nails painted on there, which is how they looked in the series as well. And again, you've got a bit of jewellery on there as well, so gives it a distinctive look, because a lot of figures don't have this. So that's really nice. And she's got her open hands as well for accessories, which I'll come to in a minute. So yeah, I think the overall look of this figure, it looks pretty damn good. Articulation, the head can do a 360, but I don't really want to do it because you can get a bit of paint rub. Plus when you're swapping heads around and all that, yeah, I don't fancy really doing that. The arms are ball jointed, so you can put the arms out and you can just swivel them up and down and all the way around like so. The biceps can do a 360, but be really careful with the biceps, because for some reason on this particular figure It's very loose. I don't know why that is. The elbows can move up and down, and the wrists can do a 360-degree turn, and legs, there is articulation in the legs, but I don't really want to move it too much because it's a little bit of a pain to move about. So overall, in terms of detail and articulation, I think that this is a really good figure. Now, this figure comes with 2 accessories. It includes her umbrella, which you see in quite a few of her episodes. It's nicely sculpted. It's a little bit different to the umbrella what we got with the 7th Doctor. Obviously, it doesn't have this question mark handle or anything like that, but it's nicely detailed. It's all black, got the black handle there, and then the actual material itself is done in black. I say material, all of this is one plastic piece, and the top bit all black, and then the very tip of it has been painted in gold, so it's very nicely detailed, and you can put it in her hand if you want to pose aiming her umbrella, and if you want to recreate scenes like the end of Deep Breath, seeing as this figure is based on Missy from Series 8, or majority of Series 8 anyway. The other accessory is her scanner device, and yeah, I think for a really small accessory, this is very nice. It's painted black with a sort of wash of grey, and these 2 circles have got red inside there, and then it's just like a black canvas on the other side there. So not too much to talk about with that. It's a very small accessory, so please do be careful, and especially keep this away from young children. It's a very easy one to get lost, and I just want to display that separately. I don't really want to put that in a hand because I've tried doing that in the past and it always drops out of a hand, even though both hands are open to carry these accessories. So just beware of that if you want to do that. Of course, near the start of the video, I said that there were 2 Missy action figures that were released around the same time, and that is the purple version, which you see in Dark Water and Death in Heaven, and in the Series 9 2-part opener as well. So that's really good that they did this. It also comes with an alternate head. You can swap heads between these 2 figures, which is a good thing. So if you want to pop that head onto that one, then you can do so. So I'll just put the black Missy out of the way for now, and we'll take a look at the purple Missy, because it is more or less the same sort of figure. We just take a look. The main difference, of course, is the purple coat and the head sculpt. Again, I think this looks like a good representation of Michelle Gomez. Which head sculpt I prefer, it's really hard for me to say. I do really like this head sculpt, but I think the wash of paint could have been better. Give her maybe a few wrinkles, because she looks like really young in this figure. But if you pose it in certain angles, you can definitely tell who it's meant to be. So I think the sculpt itself is pretty damn good, if I'm honest with you. The hat I really like, because again you've got those berries painted in there, like you see in the show, and it's painted in a sort of dark blue. That's how it was in the show, if I'm not mistaken. And the hair at the back, again, you've got that wash of black and a little bit of brown in there. And then you've got a few curls in there as well. The hat is not removable, by the way. That's stuck on, so don't try to remove it, otherwise you'll end up breaking the figure. So yeah, overall, good likeness again to Michelle Gomez. 2 very good head sculpts. I do admit I really do like the other head sculpt when she's grinning mischievously. But some will like this simply because she has a more neutral, somber look to her. She's not grinning, she just looks a bit more serious. And she is wearing a hat as well, something which we never got for the Seventh Doctor, seeing as it was the same story with that figure. We had a grinning head with a hat, and we had a somber head without a hat. This is the reverse, and I think it works better like that. So yeah, gotta mention that she comes with the exact same accessories as the other version of Missy as well, so you still get the umbrella and the scanner device. Now, the purple coat, it is more or less the same sculpt as the black one, what you saw earlier, but there's a few differences. Namely, the pockets, they've got black stitching, and this middle bit here, they've added some detail there as well. So some design patterns there, you may be able to see it, you may not, so just give you a look there. So the texture is completely different on there. So it's not completely the same, which I'm glad about, because they could have just easily just done this all purple. So I'm glad that they've actually gone to the extra effort of doing that on this figure. And that just goes all the way around to the collar, and then at the back you can see it too. And again, you got the flap there. So, you're not getting just a simple repaint of the other figure. So these two figures, they are both unique in their own way. Also, the shirt, it's not as blue as the other shirt. If I just bring the other one in, you may be able to tell this, because this one looks more bluish grey, whereas this one you can see it's more like creamy. But the collar there, that's completely white. Again, she comes with the button thing at the top there of the neck piece, which it's really nice that they added that in. Of course, it's meant to be like a face there, but it would be too small to tell what that would be, so they didn't bother adding more detail to that, which is fair enough. But everything else is more or less the same. The hands are the same, the articulation is the same, skirt same, and legs, feet exactly the same. So out of the two, which one do I prefer? To be honest, I like them both equally. There's not one which I think is better than the other. I think in terms of head sculpt, I probably prefer this one simply because of the grin. But again, I really do like the head sculpt on this because, she's Zomba and she has got that added bonus of wearing a hat as well. Even though she didn't really wear a hat that much earlier on in her appearances, she does wear it again in World Enough in Time and The Doctor Falls, but by that point she was wearing another different costume. Whether they will release that as a figure, I have absolutely no idea. But for the most part, these two Missy figures are absolutely excellent. Putting her next to the 12th Doctor, I think she looks rather good. She looks like she's in place, she's part of scenery. Obviously this is the wrong 12th Doctor to pose her with, but come to think of it, the 12th Doctor does look a bit tall. I did point out in my review of that figure, which I did a while back, that that figure is a bit too tall. They really messed up the scaling with that. I don't know what character were thinking when they were making that figure. This figure is more like an upscale version of the crappy 3.75 figures that we got. But having these two together side by side, it does definitely work. and you can recreate scenes from series 8, 9 and 10. And here we have all of the action figures of the Masters so far, minus the Eric Roberts version, which I highly doubt we will ever get, and to be honest, it's not really a figure which I would rush to get, seeing as the Roberts version is probably my least favourite Master. In fact, yeah, he is definitely my least favourite version of the Master. I think having Missy alongside all of these other versions of the Master, she doesn't look out of place at all. At first, I'll be completely honest with you here, Missy wasn't a character which I was entirely invested on, but now, having thought about it and having seen her further in the most recent series of Doctor Who, I think that actually, yeah, she's definitely the Master. She has some traits of past Masters, and I think that overall Michelle Gomez's take on the character was a very unique one. I think is one that will be remembered for years to come. And that is my review of both of the Missy figures which have been released late on in 2015. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please leave a like, comment and share, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time.